Hello everyone, I am Lee Yu. After the 1060ES and A770QS, a versatile ES collector has generously sent me another fun new gadget, the reference 9070XT. To match the identity of this graphics card, I have acquired some interesting hardware that interests me, and built it into a super powerful, all-black open-air 3A ITX platform. So how do the hardware components of this platform perform? The reveal will come right after the opening. First, let's take a look at the reference 9070XT. It comes in cardboard packaging from AMD, with not much information on it. After opening the package, the cushioning material inside isn't original. The static bag should be... Ripping the anti-static bag open, the video card is revealed, mirroring the design of the last two generations reference models, with now larger 8.5cm fans. From the side, you can see it's still dual 8-pin power delivery, but the thickness reaches 3 slots. The interface looks like the C port has turned into 3DPE HDMI backplate with a larger opening at the rear. The card size is 28.7cm by 6cm by 12cm. Begin the teardown. First, detach all screws on the back side. And the 2 screws on the bracket. You can then remove the plastic shell. Because it's not a truly market-sold reference card, the shell is made of plastic, which is a bit of a pity. Unscrew the big screw at the tail of the heatsink to separate the heatsink. To detach the backplate, unfasten the 5 screws. After this, the compact PCB body is revealed, using graphene thermal pads for the core. Its power delivery and the Sapphire 9070XT pulse are the same, controlled by 2 MP2868 AMOS controllers for 14 phases of power. Specific allocation I'm not sure. In any case, they use 50 AMP, MP8, 7993, Dr. Morse, enough for 330W. The heatsink is a consistent base plus 5 or 6 mm heat pipes, plus the fin passing technology, no vapor chamber used. Fortunately, the cooling performance is decent. At maxed out 330-hour power consumption, open air room temperature 15 degrees for half an hour, core temperature 56 degrees, hotspot temperature 79 degrees, GDR temperature 94 degrees. It aligns with various non-reference designs, and the fan speed is very low. Only around 1300 RPM, very quiet. Overall, it's just a pity that the shell is plastic and the logo doesn't light up. CPU and motherboard part also come from AMD. Specifically, it's a not yet released Tmall 7945HX3D motherboard. Tmall has various CPU platforms, and I have found them pretty good. However, it's my first time playing with the X3D mod. The motherboard itself is standard ITX form factor, 100, 2 4.0 by 4M. Back I/O includes DP, HDMI, VGA, indeed 4 Type-C ports, 2 USB 2.0, 2 5G, and network audio ports 6V 1200. What's regrettable is there's no front USB-C port. The power supply is an MP1 845A controller with MP8 69794110 50,000 DRMOS. We've seen from previous content that 7945HX3D operates at 102 watts, so this setup is more than adequate. When you open the CPU, the 3 stripes on 7945HX3D are pure gold. The specs feature 16 cores and Zen 4 architecture with a peak frequency of 5.45 GHz, together with 144 MB of L3 cache. It's akin to a lower clocked 795DX3D with fixed power. We'll evaluate its capabilities and have a brief comparison with 7800X3D. Next, it will be built into an ultra-sleek system, also compatible with Maclington ATX models' future customers. This time I still opted for the FutureMac ITX frame. Fortunately, their latest SFI is very suitable. We're not considering portability, only aesthetics and small strategic footprint for the ITX platform. With ATX version sales experience, the packaging design for SFI is much improved. The first layer of the unpacking reveals the central large frame screw box and 2 commonly used hex screwdrivers. The second tier holds the PCIe 4.0 riser cable, motherboard's back L bracket, and the compact frame for the graphics card. This red component is a custom request to fasten the video card securely. The third tier has the base stands, black graphics card supports, ATX SFX power bracket, and components for setting up water cooling. Your selected package determines the exact accessories. Here, we see the standard parts for assembling the ATX supply for aero cooling, which will be put together later. The substance of the FutureMac casing is self-explanatory. It's quite robust with fine craftsmanship. Before we begin putting it together, let's look at the other pure black, no-light components. The memory sticks purchased recently are Ada Green, harmonizing with Microcode's Deepcool AI 600 steel heart big block heatsink. It's naturally designed with coolness in mind. Whether it can accommodate the 7945X3D is what I am curious about. The power supply is a recent release from Superflower, the Duralin 1055W gold certified full modular ATX 3.1 support with a 5-year warranty. Priced at around 600 yuan, it is a good high-value option in Superflower's market strategy. The power unit is a relatively compact 14cm, a smaller ATX model, offering a solid 1050 watts on a single 12V rail. Paired with all Taiwanese capacitors and intelligent fan stop capability, it is indeed compelling at 0.6 yuan per watt. Next, let's double-click to start. First is the board U. My memory and solid-state drive are already installed. The remaining tasks are replacing the cooler brackets, applying thermal paste, and installing the cooler. Commence with the base of the SFI, utilizing the bulkiest screws provided. Post-drilling, the support columns can be mounted, which will stabilize the main structure. The main structure, bearing the future mark, is the motherboard's future rest. Carefully distinguish its orientation, then lock it down firmly with screws. After securing the main frame, tighten 4 studs. When installing the rear I/O frame, the motherboard can already be installed. However, I plan to additionally install the power button. To secure it to the frame, the power button needs to be fixed together with FutureMac's unique AMRAC, which is the metal piece I just picked up.
Subsequently, it is possible to mount it wherever there are serrations.
The next step is mounting the motherboard. At this point, I realize a stud alignment issue, which I correct. While fastening the screws, remember to apply the plastic washer included with the package to prevent hardware damage. Proceeding with the power supply. The attachment principle mirrors that of the power on switch. First securing it to the main frame, before making connections.
Thanks to AMRAC's innovation, the ATX power supply has 2 orientation options. Initially, I opted for the right but switched to the left for better aesthetics, simultaneously tidying the cables.
We're now just missing the video card. For installation, it needs to initially link with the mini fastener. Only in this way can it fit perfectly into the large graphics card framework. At this time, the graphics card and metal become a whole.
Subsequently, fix the studs for the PCIe riser cable.
Mount the riser onto the video card afterward. The opposite end attaches to the motherboard's flank. At this point, the large video card frame has 2 bumps. Line these up with the SFI slot, insert, and slide to lock the video card in position. Finally, the extension cable is fixed and the front is connected to the motherboard. Look at the power supply connection first. Mark will reserve a tiny front area for custom magnetic logos in the future. Now, the SFI assembly is complete. It occupies notably less space than ATX variants. The sole drawback might be the power cables. They'd look better customized for those with the means, but overall I'm content.
I wonder what my friends think.
Infused with a trace of allure and its charm, yeah. Sprinkle with a little bit of sex feeling. It's a moment, yeah. The end of the video is a simple CPU, running score, and game comparison with the 7800 fork 3D PPU debugging plus negative pressure, 20 plus 6000, C28 Valkyrie 2 original Expo parameters. The memory parameters of the 7945HX3D are tested, which are consistent with the former. Before the official test, we have to talk about the optimization method for the 7945HX3D processor, which has a 3D cache in one CCD and the other does not.
Process Lasso. After installing Process Lasso, take CS2 as an example. First, select all the currently running software, assign their CPU affinity trend to the high-frequency CCD without 3D cache in CCD, and then find CS2, exe and find the corresponding name for other games. CPU affinity is always assigned to CCD 0, so that the game can mainly run on CCD 0. Take Eating Chicken as an example. When I was not assigned to CCD 0, occasionally you might notice a quick decline in frame rate while playing PUBG on CCD 1 compared to CCD 0. The average frame rate falls behind by 40 frames, and the minimum frame rate also drops by 25 frames. Suitable allocation results in the 7800X3D and 7945HX3D functioning without any problems. CSR isn't as aggressive as PUBG. After proper allocation, the 7945HX3D and 7800X3D are on equal footing. With its higher turbo frequency, the 7945HX3D naturally leads the 712 3D across the board. Aspect productivity tests are similar. This CPU benefits from the 102 watt wall limit during extreme stress tests, with excellent temperature control. Even under prolonged loads, the AN600 holds it around 80 degrees. At 1018 degrees, so this time with the no-light pure black 3A ITX small steel cannon, my impression is that the reference 9070XT performance in this size is impressive paired with future matter safety. It's very well done. The 7945HX3D's super efficiency in gaming also makes me very excited. Looking forward to Tmall launching the 9955H3D ModiTT soon. Maybe I'll retire my 13900K. That's all for this video. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to your likes, comments, and subscriptions. I'm Carp. See you in the next video.